Hi, everybody. Guess what? You're right. We are live. This is Molly Lanaghan and Dmitre Razgulajevs. I am Skating PJ, and I am delighted to be able to talk to these two. My goodness, it feels like forever. Mind you, it has been forever since we've all been at home.
Yeah.
While we're here, we're going to get a chance to take some questions from our audience. But first of all, I want to find out. Oh, look, Irina is on. Olga is on. Arthur Werner is on. They've all left comments like thumbs up and nice clapping. It's nice to have family and friends in the house.
Yeah, they're downstairs right now.
So if you guys could tell me, you got together in 2016. Tell me how that happened. Oh my goodness, wait before we start.
Carol's there.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, Carol. Carol, I'm coming back for you for another Facebook Live soon. You just don't know it yet. Okay, so I want you guys to give me a little bit of a heads up on how it all worked. Oh, wait, and there's one other person.
Hello.
Yorkshire, you're English. People don't realize that perhaps, and they need to find out. And oh boy, yours is here too, Dad's here. What people may not know is that Yours Razgulajevs, famed coaching partner of Caroline and John Lane, is in fact your dad. So I've been watching you ice dance since you were a little wee kid. This is our favorite music guy from Canada, Murray Anderson. Sometimes people think I'm married to him, but thank goodness that's not the truth. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so let's go back. 2016. Dima, you have been skating. You've been ice dancing for as long as I think I've known you, from the time you were a little wee guy. Tell me how you guys got together.
Well, in 2017, Molly was coming out to do a tryout with another English skater that was training with us at the time. And
Okay.
I just ended up splitting up with my previous partner, and we saw an opportunity to do a tryout together. And from the moment we started skating together, like, our coaches thought that we were a good fit, and we both enjoyed each other's company. And I was Molly's chauffeur while she was visiting. So I took her sightseeing, and we were hanging out a lot. We got along really well off and on the ice. So it only seemed fitting for her to pack her stuff and move here.
So you're on that first trip. I got the year wrong, of course. But anyway, you're on that first trip, and you packed a suitcase because you're going to come for what, a week or 2 weeks or something. And what makes you decide? And did you have to go back to England to get stuff? Like, how does it become? What are the things that go into that kind of decision?
So I came out for 2 weeks because I had a week's trial with the other guy, and then a week's trial with Dima. And then on the second week is when we decided that we was gonna team up. So then I flew home for like 2 weeks roughly back to England. And then I packed even more stuff, brought even more clothes. And then I moved out here like 2 weeks later in March.
And what's it like for you, a nice English girl living in Canada? Tell me what things you had to adapt to, what things were the same, what things were different, and what the atmosphere is like on the ice.
Well, they drive on the other side of the road. That was the biggest thing.
The correct side of the road. Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
I did pass my driving test too, so it took me like months to even attempt to drive. He was trying to convince me. He was like, "It's the same," and I was like, "No, it's really not." The rinks are a lot different. There's, like, where I'm from in Sheffield, like, everyone skates on the same ice. So there's pairs, dance, solo, beginner skaters, adult skaters. We all train on the same ice. So I think that was the biggest thing, like, training-wise, which was different, was being on the ice just with dance teams. It was.
How many people would that have been on a busy session?
Oh,
nuts! It's insane.
Like 30, maybe.
Wow. In lots of countries in the world, that's exactly how it works. And there are some people who say that that's one of the reasons why you get to be such a good skater, is you have to learn how to mentally adapt to your environment. You have to be able to sort of check off all of those training check marks that you're hoping to hit on any given day. So, but it did take you very long?
No, I just felt like I fit in so easily here, and everyone was so nice. Like, it just felt like home when I got here. It was really easy to, like, just slip in and get that as my new norm.
Now, what about you, Dima? You've got another part. You've had lots of partnerships along the way, or not lots, but some. Like it's been your career has been as an ice dancer, is what I mean by that.
Yeah.
So you've always been sort of working at ice dance. Did you ever free skate?
Like when I started in free skate, like when I was a child. I only started dancing when I was 8 years old.
Oh, that old, eh?
Yeah, so like there was a couple of years where I wasn't doing dance, and I didn't like falling. I was really skinny, so whenever I fell, it would hurt. And I was quite the crybaby when I was a little child. So uh, you fall a little less in dance, you practice more standing up. So I enjoyed dancing more with a female. So it was more fitting for me. And I like grew up with my dad's my coach, and he was
Yeah.
an awesome ice dancer. So like it was really easy for me to train and like fit right in with the dancers, especially because I started at a young age. So it's pretty
Your
easy.
dad was a junior world ice dance champion.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
I know it's pretty good. Well, yeah, when you say it. And then Carol, of course, Carol and John both were both hoping very much, not hoping very much that they ended up as like amazing sort of international competitors. So it's kind of full circle that you're here from England and that John and Carol and parts of the rest of the team are also from England.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about these people. I just want to show you a picture and have you react to it.
Aww.
That's family.
Yeah, that's family.
So it's Caroline on the right, John standing at the back, and your dad, Uris, on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the training environment that they provide. What are the things that you appreciate about being at Ice Dance Elite in Scarborough?
You want me to take it?
You go first.
They're a really like great dynamic trio. Like it's like a perfect puzzle with those three. Carol's really like incredible with her creativity. Uris is really good, while my dad is really good with all the technical stuff. John's amazing with all the dances. He knows everything.
He knows everything about everything.
Everybody who's
boy
created,
steps, girl steps, he knows.
So like whatever we need, somebody has the skills to teach us.
Yeah, everyone's like got their own little special things. And
they all fit really well. And like again, they're like family for me. I grew up with Carol and John as well. And they've like, no matter how difficult I was or everything, they always like were trying to be understanding with me, even when it was really hard to be understanding with me. And they've always like taken really incredible care of me. And no matter who comes, when they come, Carol, John, and Uris will always take everybody in and take great care of them.
Carol's like the mama bear. Uris is like the papa bear, and then John's like the grandpa.
He's awesome.
He's awesome.
He'll never be mad at you. Well, sometimes.
So it didn't take long to fit in, is what I'm hearing, Molly. Is that right?
No, it was really easy. It just felt like I belonged with everyone.
I've got another picture to share with you that I'm hoping you're going to be able to. Oh, wait, there's an amazing comment that has just come through that I think you need to see. I'd like you to respond to this, Dima.
Well, he yelled through the door before we started to talk about him. So.
He asked us to give him a shout out. He did do that.
Oh, and Carol wants to be paid too. Carol, I'm assuming you're speaking for both you and John. I'm just saying. So if you can tell me a little bit too about the environment that you find yourself in. I mean, I just spoke last week with Caroline Soucis and Shane Ferris, who are joining you on the ice. And then, of course, there's these guys, Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier. Tell me what it's like to be on the ice with some of the world's best.
Well, it's inspiring is the first word. Like just getting to train with such like amazing athletes and people, and they're just like so. It's just easy, and it's really an honor to skate with them, and then to be friends with them is also an honor. Like they're great people, and they're great people to just train with and look up to.
What kinds of things have you learned from their experience being just a couple of steps further ahead on the sort of evolutionary scale of ice dance teams?
I think it's good. Like what we learn from them is talking issues out. Like if we disagree with stuff, our thing is to kind of stick up for ourselves and be like, I'm right. No, I'm right. Whereas they have a good way of just like talking it out and figuring out and like listening to each other. which I think is really good to watch from them. And we try to do that as best as we can.
What about you, Dima? What is your experience?
They've been incredible because no matter how much they get like beat up or whatever, they always like come back stronger. So they're incredible. Like they're the hardest working athletes I've ever met in my life. They deserve everything they accomplished and so much more.
They deserve more.
They're truly incredible people. I've known Paul my whole life. He's always like stuck with with the team, and he's always fighting for everyone. He's incredibly smart, funny. Piper came a few years later, and again, I've known her for a long time. She's come up like crazy. She also worked she's super hardworking.
Yeah,
really motivating people.
I think that you have to work hard at Ice Dance to League, or else Carol will kill you. I'm just saying. I could be right. I could be wrong. I'm kidding, Carol. I love you. Carol and I. Okay, so my first coaching job was at a rink with John and Carol. Believe it or not, way back before ice was invented. It was a really long time ago. It was a whole lot of fun. Okay, I've got a great question action coming in from. Oh, what do you plan for next season? That's coming in from Karen Butler. How are you adapting to this whole off ice world?
Off ice training, of course. I think we're just trying to stay fit and keep our bodies moving, so when we get back on the ice, it's not as big of a shock. I'm sure it will be a shock, but we're trying to keep that as
so far possible. The season's a bit of a mystery, obviously, with everything going on. We're praying that we get back as soon as possible, when it's safe, obviously, and when everything's under control. When we get back, at the moment, we're going to be doing the fin step again. So the plan is to continue with our program, our short dance for sure. And it's going to be fun. I love that program. We've had a lot of fun doing it. So we're excited for that. And then at the moment, it's a lot of cardio stuff. So I like to bike and rollerblade. We run sometimes together, sometimes alone. There's we do weight training and body weight training and stretching and
dance.
When we're feeling like we miss skating, we do some of the stroking stuff that we would do on the ice. John has taught us a way to do it off the ice a few years ago. So I taught it to Molly, and we've been doing that when we feel when we're missing the ice a bit extra. We pretend we're skating in the living room. So yeah, a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. This is, whoops, I did it wrong again. Hold on. Here we go. Carol wants to know, what's your favorite program so far and why? It's a great question, Carol. Thank you.
Ooh.
For me, when I'm at work, we have a slideshow playing of the few employees who skate. And our short dance from the Tango Romantica comes on.
Oh, yeah.
And I just find that we skated it really well, especially because we weren't we were still
learning
each other, and watching that performance from nationals was I enjoy watching it. Or this year that just passed, the free dance is always
that's my
super
favorite.
Fun to perform, no matter how painful it is. It's always an
it's an easy one
to get through.
Yeah.
Even with the pain that we have to go through.
On days when we're tired, that free dance was on Mondays, we like to start Mondays with free dance run-throughs, because that program was just so nice, and it just got us both into the ice and relaxed to start the week. That was my favorite, I think.
This is a fan, a Sami Funyut loves you. So that's good to know. And then I'm not sure. I'm thinking that perhaps these might be a couple of people that you know, Miss Lanaghan. Jane, whoever you are, I'm looking forward to seeing them skate again soon. And then we have another little message from Michelle.
That's my other auntie, Michelle. Tez and Michelle. I have a very big family.
You know what? It's wonderful to have that kind of support. I want you guys to talk to me about support and about what it's like to have fans in the audience that you know are pulling for you, as well as family members. Tell me, and by the way, one last message before you give me the answer to that. Another message from Jane. Granddad.
Oh, my granddad. Aw, thank you, Jane, for passing that on.
I agree. Thank you, Jane, indeed. But tell me what it's like to have that kind of support. I mean, obviously, Dmitry, in some ways, you're in the family business. So you have support happening. And Molly, you've got lots of support here. So tell me what that feels like and how that helps.
I think the first time we felt a lot of support on the ice was our first nationals doing our Mary Poppins. And halfway through our footwork, when the music was like starting to beat up, the audience was clapping, and like we was in the Vancouver arena, so it was so big. And that was the first time like on the ice where we had like it was almost a full stadium because it was Olympic year, and everyone was clapping, and that was like one of my best memories on the ice. Was like coming out of the footwork, going into our spin, and like it just felt so like appreciated and so much love from everyone. It was really, that was amazing.
What about you, Dima?
Every year it seems to like we get more appreciation.
I'm here. I'm just being fancy with the buttons.
Yeah. So like for example, like the nationals that passed, it was really like jaw dropping when we're walking through the
tunnel.
Yeah, like through the tunnels
to get
and
onto
everything.
The ice.
Oh no, I'm talking about like after we finished the free dance and we were just like trying to find our parents.
Yeah.
And like it was really jaw dropping because of all the people that were approaching and telling us how much they enjoyed our programs, and all the people that have said how much they enjoy our improvement and can't wait to see us more. It's just really motivating.
Yeah, it's motivating.
Really like inspiring.
Yeah.
To have that many fans.
Tell me a little bit about what's in your mind for what you're doing this season. Like, have you wrapped your brain around, obviously the short dance stays the same. Lots of people are thinking about keeping their same free programs in all disciplines and sort of retooling them to sort of reflect and to make them fresher. Are you making your planning in your head as if there's a season that's going to happen and that we're all going to be on the ice in the summer, or do you just kind of keep it fluid? Like, tell me what's going on in your mind.
So Carol's really good at keeping everybody organized. She's really great at organization. We're lucky we already have music picked out. We're not going to mention it yet, but we have music planned out.
Before it started, we chose our new free dance music, and we started cutting, we started like doing little bits of choreography. So we're very like, we was already ahead of schedule with that. And then when this happened, Carol's really tried to keep us all like not too excited to get back on the ice. She's like, just remember, we might not have summer competitions, we might not have that. So depending when we get back on the ice, if it's like sooner, we'll have a new free dance. But if we get back on the ice like way later in the year, then I'm sure we'll just be keeping our free dance and making like changes to it, things to make it a little bit better. But Carol, she's pretty sure, and we agree with her, that it's just going to be a domestic season, starting like later on in the fall with sectionals, like challenge, nationals.
So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's a waiting game at this time.
I want to show you one more comment. I think this is for you, Molly.
Yeah, it's my dog.
So nice to have so many people from England joining us today.
I just had a family quiz with everyone, and I was like, everyone, make sure you watch.
And they're watching and they're making sure that they know. I mean, that we know, that they know. Kim Calder has a great comment. She loves watching you skate together. I do too. I want you guys to quickly tell me 3 qualities that you believe make you well suited as partners. In other words, what are the 3 things that you offer, Molly, to Dima? Dima, the 3 things you offer back to Molly that give you that perfect sort of sync.
I think I give hard working.
Yeah, he's inspiring to keep the hard work going.
You do one now.
I think we both have the same amount of dedication and inspiration with the same goal. That's the biggest thing that brought us together, is how hungry we both are for it.
And there's a lot of passion.
For the sport.
But like for Molly, but like I think I'm pretty passionate too. I mean, I've been doing it for a while, and I enjoy every time I go out. And this whole virus and the quarantine has really like made me have a like much bigger itch for it. Like, it's really hard right now. Like we're put our skates on.
Yeah, we walk around the house in our skates a lot.
Like we're really itching to get back on the ice and to do what we love. And
I think that we both have the same kind of style too. Like it's not like one of us is one style skating and the other one's another. We both blend together really well, and we have the same like presentation, and we're a good height for each other.
There is that physical match, which makes it wonderful to watch. people want to know, they always ask me, when we're looking at ice dancers and you've got like the sort of like intensity when you're looking at each other,
Mhm.
how much of that is being captured in the moment because you're performing and it's a competition, and how much of it is sort of like rehearsed, that at this moment you have to sort of be looking away or looking at them or whatever.
Mhm.
How easily are you transported into the moment?
Um, I think we practice everything. We go over stuff so many times that it gets natural to us. But also, a lot of our presentation, we bring it from ourselves. So it's like more of like a natural what's coming out. And then we find what we like and we build it into it.
Yeah, we do acting classes to help us like learn
Develop
how
our
to
characters.
develop our characters
We
and
make
learn
like
how to
stories
perform.
for the characters.
I have a great question from Norland McDonald. Which dance teams inspire you the most, or do you look up to the most? And I want to add my own little twist. And why?
Do you want to go first? I know your answer.
A lot of mine are like people in my life. So I always look up to Paul with Piper, and I look up to my dad, of course, and I really enjoy watching like John. The fact that he's every morning the first one on the ice doing laps is really inspiring.
John Lane.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I can barely get out of bed some mornings, but John's out there every morning first on the ice doing his laps to stay fit, and it's really inspiring. And he was an awesome skater as well. So.
What about you, Molly?
Piper and Paul, of course, just having them around, they're inspiration every day.
Yeah,
so
you cannot be inspired by them.
You can't not be around them and not be inspired by them. Of course, Tova and Dean, they're such iconic people in the sport. I think they're everyone's inspiration. And I also love Elena Elyanik, the Russian ice dancer who skated. She doesn't skate no more. But I love her presentation and her sass and just how she uses her characters. I really like how she does that.
This question comes from Andrea Iozzi. Great chemistry between the two of you. And that's kind of what I was alluding to. How do you demonstrate that chemistry? Is it natural? What do you think? How can you explain it?
I would say it's natural.
I mean, yeah, pretty like early on to our partnership, we actually started a relationship between us. It was kind of hard to be around each other all the time and not kind of fall for each other. So yeah, we're also dating. So
yeah, I think having like being natural, in a relationship, the chemistry is a lot stronger between us, and it's just easier to show on the ice. Yeah. And I think because of that, it comes out so natural, and we're not afraid to show chemistry or love or anything. Like we just go for it because it feels right.
I lost you there for a second, but then I found you. I don't know what's going on with my buttons, but in any event, I want to know your favorite performance so far in your career. It doesn't have to be a competition. It can be anything. What was your favorite performance and why?
I would say we did a show in December. We went with Carol to her friend Daphne's rink in the States, and we did a mini cut down version of our free dance, and it was like on a smaller rink, all the lights out, but that was just one of my favorite performances. It just felt so like we felt so much love from everyone whilst we was doing it. And Carol said it was one of her favorite performances she saw of us. And the music started and we just got lost like together in the dance. And then it felt like it was over in like 10 seconds. It was just, I wanted to just go out and do it again and again and again.
What about you, Dima?
Same thing that Molly said, except there was a lot of lifts in that. So maybe I wouldn't do it over and over again. But yeah, definitely it was a really good one. I also had a really good performance with my first partner, Katie, on our last competition together at Nationals. Was a really heartfelt moment because we knew that before we didn't even discuss what our future was, but we knew at that moment that our partnership was finishing. So it was it wasn't like we were both happy because we were ready to move on, but we were both like really happy with each other, and we left on a really good note. So it was a really nice way a nice performance to finish with. So that was a good performance
really
for me.
nice. Aw,
That
that's
is
so
lovely. That's lovely.
nice.
Martha wants to know if you had to skate somebody else's program, whose would it be and why? If you could
Ooh,
skate anybody's program.
That's a good question.
that is a good question. Do you have one?
There's a lot. There's
Yeah.
so many good ones. Like,
That's a
If you
good.
You know what? I would go with, I mean, there's a whole bunch. You're absolutely right. But one of my all-time favorite programs for me, Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer's Carmen. Oh, I
Yeah.
love that program. But, you know, in a body of work, I mean, you mentioned Torval and Dean. They had some like
think so.
Yeah. They had
world-changing programs.
some- I like their what's it called? The one with the cape.
Paso Doble.
Yeah, I love that one.
Paso Doble.
That was a very fun program to do.
Yeah.
I would love to like do Piper and Paul's like their the circus one with the
Yeah.
red dress and the tights with the
This one?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one was a really cool and very, very different program.
It was so ahead of its time.
Yeah, it was very ahead of its time, and I think it would have been a really fun program to perform.
Do you know what I would have loved to skate is their Hitchcock program, because Paul was just so psycho looking. It was terrifying.
That was my second one that I was thinking of too.
I love that dress. I'll wear that dress.
Really, what you ice dancers wear, you all wear beautiful dresses. It's one of the reasons why I love ice dance. Well, and I like the whole footwork thing too, I have to admit. So let's talk for a minute, just sort of as we're sort of winding things down. I want to hear about goals. What are your goals? Where are you headed? What does this all mean to you?
Well,
I mean, like the cliche. Sorry,
you
like
go.
we have like the pretty cliche goal. Like we really want to go to the Olympics, and
I think everyone who
represents
skates wants to.
I want to represent this country.
I'm happy
preferably
to represent Canada.
Yeah. So the Olympics would be awesome, and
we want to develop our partnership. So we're not just not just one of the teams who's competing, but we're one of the good teams and like a force to be reckoned with. I think that's what we really want to get across in the next few years, is that we're not just one of the teams making the numbers up.
I also have I always feel really accomplished when I get people that come to us and tell us that they appreciated our performance.
That's a great
because we don't control the judges and the scores that we get. We can only control how we perform. So I don't like to focus on the marks and stuff. I rather focus on making the audience feel what I want them to feel. So whenever we have a program, the goal is always to get them to feel
the emotions,
feel the story and everything. So that's always one of my big goals.
There are a couple of really great questions that we're going to talk about. One is this one. What are the challenges and benefits of being in a relationship while skating as a team? Thank you for that question, Lori.
Being too close and sometimes arguing too much, because we can do that because we live together, we skate together, we spend basically the whole day together. So I think sometimes if we're tired, we can be too comfortable to just let off emotions out on the other one, especially because I don't have no family here. Like Dmitre, obviously Irina and Yuri's a family to me, but Dmitri's my closest family here. So how anyone can just show a bit too much attitude sometimes. I think that's one thing. But we're dealing with it better, and we're getting it a lot more under control.
Yeah. So the challenge is finding time apart, obviously, but we are getting better at that. When we need it, we're getting better at telling each other and noticing when the other needs a little bit of space, and we
just respect that and then and come back together.
So here is a final question, which I think is a great one, and I'm leaving it on so I can see you and you guys can see me. If a movie was made of you and your life, who should play you?
We've had this
actually. Do you know what? You guys should each say who should play you and who should play your partner, and let's see if they match up.
Okay, I go first. So I love Blake Lively. She's in Gossip Girl, the blonde girl with beautiful hair. I aspire to have hair like her. So I would want her to play me, and then I would want Ryan Reynolds to play Dima.
Excellent. Okay.
Ourselves as them at the skating world. Just not looks wise.
Or like for me, I would, if they could make the TV show Friends into a movie, I would want to be played by
Lost.
what's his name? Chandler. What's the actor's name? Matthew
Matt
Perry.
Perry.
I'd want to be played by Matthew Perry, and then I want
Yeah.
I think
Rachel.
yeah, Rachel, Jennifer Aniston's like character, Rachel, would fit Molly really well.
I think that those are great. I think I mentioned to you guys that I have adopted a long-term care facility, the North Renfrew Long-Term Care Center. And there's a very special skating fan named Sandra who's there. Can you guys just give a little shout out to Sandra?
Yeah, of course.
Hi, Sandra. I hope you're keeping well during the quarantine and watching all the skating that you want to, and just staying part of the sport.
Yeah, it's we're really excited to hear about you, and we're really glad that you're a big fan of skating, and we hope that one day we can meet you, and it'd be a real honor and real privilege.
I agree. I hope to meet Sandra IRL in real life too one of these days. Guys, I want you to give me one last sort of message that you can send out to the younger skaters who are watching. What can they do to cope better in this COVID quarantine crisis?
Have patience, like within yourself, and try not to take stuff out like on other people. Just stay really calm. I know I've watched way more skating in this past 6 weeks than I have ever in my life, because I just watch it and I feel like I'm doing it. So I think that's a good coping mechanism for me right now.
What about you, Dima?
Definitely stay patient.
And positive.
Yeah, try to keep a positive mind. Just remember we're all in this together. So you're not alone. Like, you're not the only one that's not skating. So just stay positive and stay active for sure. There's always stuff you can do to benefit yourself at home at all times. So.
Yeah.
I love this picture because it shows you kind of going in opposite directions, but still staying connected. And I think that that's kind of the message that you're talking about. Yeah. So Molly Lanaghan, Dmitre Razgulajevs, thank you so much for talking to me today. And I'm looking forward to seeing us all get back on the ice. Whenever that happens, it's going to be great. Thank you again.
All right. Thank you so much.
It was an honor.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.